Welcome back. At just 14 years old, Julie Koboyashi has been through more than what most people experience in a lifetime. At age 11, she was diagnosed with a heart condition and successfully survived a heart transplant.
She's now turning her time of difficulty into a chance to inspire others and to prove she has the heart of a champion. KITV's Jordan Segundo and videographer Nate Sirota share the warm story of Julie Koboyashi, this week's Hawaii MVP.
I got 1 coin. That's better than nothing.
At first glance, 14-year-old Julie Koboyashi comes across as your typical teenager. She loves line dancing.
Okay, I was gonna be lame.
And video games.
They take your mind off the troubles you're going through, especially like in negative times. Oh, my hobbies aren't that interesting anymore.
But behind the smile and laughter is a story of strength, determination, and inspiration. At age 11, she went to the doctor thinking she had the flu. While she was at the doctor's office, her symptoms suddenly went from bad to worse. She was out of breath, started seeing white spots, and said everything was blurry.
You know, at that point, I knew that something was definitely wrong, and the doctors pulled me on the side and started explaining, you know, what they're looking at right now, and asking me more questions, in-depth questions about her history. And from there, it just the roller coaster began. You know, it was just unbelievable what we encountered.
Julie was in heart failure. She was admitted to Koboyashi Medical Center for Women and Children, where she was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, a condition in which the heart becomes weakened and enlarged.
At the beginning, I really questioned, why is it me, you know? Why did it have to be me? But then I realized I'm not the only one in this kind of situation, and there are people in far worse situations than I am, so I have no right to complain.
That positive outlook was key for Julie. After 3 weeks in the ICU, doctors determined she was in need of a new heart. Arrangements were made to fly her to a Seattle hospital to await a heart transplant. This was one of the toughest parts of Julie's journey.
I remember my mom couldn't go with me, and she was there, and I had to see her off at emergency. Sorry. It's still kind of fresh in my mind.
It just brings tears to my eyes because that morning when I left her, they closed the ambulance door. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
After 6 long months on the waiting list, Julie received a new heart. Her second chance at life, she met that opportunity head-on and determined.
What kept me going was the fact that I told myself, I'm gonna come home, and I'm gonna get to see my family and friends again, and I'm gonna walk out of these hospital doors and never come back. It'll bring you good luck or fortune.
She lived up to all of those things, only she did go back to the hospital as survivor and ambassador.
Just eventually you just have to come in terms and kind of face your fears.
Julie was recently named the 2016 Children's Miracle Network Ambassador for Hawaii. Staff at Koboyashi Medical Center say it's well deserved.
And it is amazing to be able to see her at this point, and she is a champion, you know.
As champion, Julie designed a special pin that symbolizes her journey. Her mission now, inspire others and serve as living proof that miracles can and do happen.
To the other patients, I would say you can overcome any obstacle you put your mind to. And for the families whose child is in the hospital, or you know, someone they know, hang in there, and as long as you're there for them, you give them hope. And I'm like, I'm gonna win.
Julie Koboyashi, a survivor, a champion, our KITV4 Hawaii MVP. Jordan Segundo, KITV Island News.
Strong young woman, and she is going to make a fantastic ambassador for us.
Yeah, you just hate to see those images of some kid, a child especially, in the hospital going through that, but for her to turn it around and get through that like Jordan said, heart of a champion.